Hi guys, welcome to another episode. Winter was a time for learning and making plans for summer. And winter is over, summer is coming. So today I have a plan to make a cart trolley. Here I have some boards that because of some my mistakes, conditions in a garage, they become twisted, what you can see. But for this trolley, they should be quite okay. So that's a type of cart I use in my garage. Very handy. It is small, but as you can see, it's rock solid. I can transport hundreds of kilograms on it in my garage, and because I use it in my garage, which is pretty flat, here all wheels can freely rotate, which is very important in my garage. But I didn't want to have it in my trolley that I will use outdoors, and there's a very simple reason for it. I live in a very quite flat area, but there's a slope very close to the building. It is just to drain rain, all such all water out of the house. So let's assume that I will drive my trolley on that slope, and if all wheels will be could rotate along not only y but also z axis, it would be always like this. So if I would be pulling that trolley from the front, I would have to struggle, and I would have to actually lift the whole weight of the trolley. But if the back wheels, when they will be fixed, that trolley will not slide down on the slope, so I will just have to control the front side. And this is very handy for heavy stuff in let's say not extremely flat places. Every wheel can carry around 230 kilos, like a 460 pounds. So it is way more than I need, and it is a solid rubber. So it should last long, I hope. And the boards, each board is like 35 millimeters, is a inch and 3/8 more or less. So they will be very, very strong as well. The boards that I have to transport for now, they are like a 5-6 meters long, which will be of course way longer than this cart will be, but 6 meters long cart will be extremely heavy, and it will be just for a one-time use. So that's why I decided to have it 2 meters by more or less 60 centimeters. It will be like a 4 boards. That's all about the concept. Let's trim them to 2 meters, prepare some horizontal boards. Okay, so now let's go to miter saw. There was one also question from one of the viewers, so let's answer it, make cuts and screw all these things together. So first things first, there was a question from one of the viewers about that dust collector and extractor, and the question was about the solid sides. I think that they will work, that as everything else, it's up to your context. As you can see, this is a multi-purpose garage. So when I do not use my miter saw, I want to have this miter saw station as small as possible. That's why these supports are permanently detached. I attach them only when I'm going to use it. And the same with this cart. Yeah, most of my tools are on the carts if they are heavy. And the purpose of this was, even though I have a small amount of space, I don't want to lose the ability to cut in the full range of my miter saw. So in this case, as you can see, it is behind the curtain. And the same would be in a opposite side. It is the same, but obviously dust extraction will be less efficient than when the whole miter saw is within the boundaries, let's say. But still, because I can easily adjust how this rubber lays on my saw, it still stops quite a lot of dust, quite a lot of that's the sawdust, and the dust extractor can be still very efficient. So efficiency is lower than in the straight cut because the hole is straight in front of me, but I can do all cuts that this miter saw can do. So that's the purpose, and also for maintenance, for cleaning up. If it's not solid side, I don't have to unscrew anything. I can just remove 1, 2, or all the curtains. I have full access to inside to clean it up or do any maintenance I need. So that was about the question. So now I'm going to trim one side of the boards just to make the edges straight. Then I will measure 2 meters, let's say, cut, and it will be not too much. So let's do it. So width of the 4 boards is more or less 59 centimeters, so I decided to cut that shorter board to 60 centimeters. It is more, let's say, known dimension. Also, I decided to cut 3 such boards because the long boards are pretty twisted, so maybe that will allow me to keep them straight or less curvy than they are right now. But now all cuts are done, so there is some dust inside of this box. So now it's an example to the question that was asked about the maintenance. Now I can just detach my dust extractor from the back, use this to clean up inside without any extra tools. And that was it about the maintenance. Yeah, there is some dust. That's a very small amount, but the majority of dust was removed in a few seconds. And that is also the goal, that because I cannot keep the dust inside, because I have to move it, and if there's any airflow, I will have this dust everywhere. So that's how it works. Okay, so all boards are cut, so now it's time to screw all these pieces together. Before I will go any further, I need one more thing. to be able to pull the whole cart, I need some kind of handle. And for now, I decided to use my old rope and recycled, I don't know how to call it, it's like a hook, anchor, however you want to call it. The idea is that such rope, the first thing, it will have just 2 meters. Boards that I have to transport have like a 5, 6, some of them. That's why the handle cannot be fixed, it cannot be solid. So idea is to attach this one to the cart and this put through this hole, make a knot on other side and have this long elastic handle. And how to attach this one to a wooden cart. So I came up with pretty simple concept. So let's say this is the front vertical board. And this is a back wheel, but that doesn't matter. Yeah, it is the same size. And it will go this way. There will be 4 screws. So this piece of wood will be very tightly joined to the other one. So my idea is to drill a hole here and put this inside of it. Yeah, like this. And here we will have something holding it on a position, and then having it this way and having rope attached to this, it should work. Yeah, and there will be another board on this side and everything will be tightly coupled and kept by wheels. So I have 2 of them. I will put them on the side. Wheel as well, I don't need it for now. So let's put it here for a second. Yeah, so here I have my rotor bit attached already, quite big, so I will make first quite shallow pass and then on that side. And then the one bigger, the final depth. Of course, it would be nicer to have a rounded bit. I have squared, but that's how it is. It's a simple card, so I will use what I have. So let me prepare the workbench, and we'll see in a second. So 2 holes are made. Here will be space for 1 anchor. Here will be space for another one. And now in the place of nuts, I need to make some small indent in those boards, but very shallow. Time to assemble all these things, but I realized that I didn't mention about the position where the wheels will be mounted. So let's assume it is a long board, and that's a back wheel, and my idea is to put like literally maybe a centimeter, maybe 2 from the very end of the board. So I will use just one because these wheels are pretty heavy. So I want to have those wheels at the very end. Maybe they will be even longer than the board. The thing is that if I would it's not that easy to handle those things. When I will try to pull something heavy on that cart, and the leverage point will be here, I mean at the very end, so the whole leverage will be really pretty small. So even if I will stand at the very end of the cart trying to pull something heavy, it will not lift me front of that cart. So that's why the end front as well, from the same purpose, yeah, because I don't know how I will be loading and unloading stuff from that cart. So that's why the span between wheels will be pretty big. But those boards are 35 millimeters. It's 1 3/8 of an inch, so they are pretty tough for what I need. So that's why let's say I'm okay with this bigger span, but having wheels at the ends. So that's quite important from the usability point of view later, I guess. It is very simple card. I hope it will work as expected. It's dark outside, so I'm not going to test it today. There's more or less in the middle, this bar. It is more to keep those boards straight. It doesn't reinforce it too much. Also, gaps here are not very straight because these boards were not only twisted but also make a little bit more bow. But again, it's just a card to transport other materials, so it's better to have nice flat surface and those gaps irregular, and then try to make it all perfectly straight and spend another week or so on it. It's been a while, more or less a week, since I was able to record anything outside because it was raining and blowing like crazy. Today is just a bit windy, so I'm able to finish that video. Behind my back you can see the pile of boards that I was able to transport using that cart in a one afternoon actually. Already you can see it is a great playground for my dogs, but also about the duty of that cart. I will show you that there are no single cracks on this cart so far. I have pretty decent weight and pretty strong legs, and as you can see, my first transport wasn't as planned, and that's mainly because my dogs love to dig, and it wasn't an issue with a cart. It was just me choosing wrong road. Next transports where I took on a more solid path were smooth. So overall, it's a pretty heavy duty and easy to make car that is really a game changer for me. So that's all for this episode. Thanks for watching and see you next time.